Hello again, it's Tim Spector of the ZOE Symptom Study app giving you an update, and it's been a very busy week. Lots of mixed messages coming from the media and the government, and plenty of data to go through with you. And first, really, the headline news is that we're below 2,000 cases a day. Now, 1,924 we recorded, and that's fantastic. That's back where we were really last July, and there's a 50% drop from what we were discussing last week, which is probably better than most of us thought would be the case. And this giving us an R value around the country of between 0.7 and 0.8. And it's coinciding with drops in admissions and deaths, which are now around the 50 a day mark, which compares to over 1,000 people a day who are dying of natural causes from other conditions. So that's really good news. And just to give you an idea of your personal risk, we have about 47,000 people in the country with symptoms at the moment. That means your risk is about 1 in 1,400 of bumping into them. Obviously, it varies a little bit around the country, but that's pretty good considering how high the rates got. The government is announcing lots of new schemes to try and keep infections down, and one of them is these lateral flow devices you might have heard about. These are really do-it-yourself kits that you swab yourself and put the test into this little machine that gives you a readout, a bit like a pregnancy test, and takes about 15 minutes. And they're pretty good, but they do have a false positive rate that is, according to our data, the data you've sent us from the app, because many of you are doing lateral flows, works out at about 5 per 1,000. So if you are testing yourself at home, before you rush out and panic, do get another test and check it. And only really if there's 2 in a row that are positive, I suggest you take action. Unless, of course, you're already feeling ill and have any of the likely symptoms of COVID, in which case you should definitely stay at home. The other thing we need to talk about is where we are doing internationally. How does 1,924 cases a day compare when you look at rates per million? And if we look at the latest graph internationally, we can see that we're right down there, only slightly worse than Israel, who are ahead of us in the vaccination game, but better than Spain, who are in turn better than Germany, Italy, and of course France is doing particularly badly, as are other countries in more Central Eastern Europe. But hopefully those peaks will also start to come down. The vaccinations are going very well, despite some of these hiccups we've had with stories of side effects. Over 31 million first doses, getting towards 10 million second doses now. And we've got over 1 million of your records, which you've kindly given us. And this is now giving us sufficient numbers, particularly the AstraZeneca vaccine. Had over 600,000 of those reports now, to tell you a bit more about them. And interestingly, you may remember that we were saying if you had the Pfizer vaccine, you weren't very likely to have a reaction the first time around, but you were more likely to have a reaction the second shot. It seems to be the opposite with the AstraZeneca vaccine. So you seem to be more likely to have a problem the first time, but only about 16% have problems the second time. So that should be reassuring if you got a bit of a bad reaction the first time round from AstraZeneca. We are looking into these rare side effects, and we did look at blood clots, but we didn't see it in 600,000 reports we've looked at, and this is because it is that rare. It only occurs in about 1 in 600,000 people. So these are incredibly rare side effects, and the side effects of having the virus are definitely much higher. The Prime Minister recently told us that 2 people who'd been fully vaccinated really shouldn't meet because it wasn't 100% safe. Just want to give you some context around that. It all depends how much virus is around in the country, really. And currently, with rates of 1 in 1,400, someone who's been fully vaccinated, according to our data and the trial data, suggests they have a 20th of the normal risk, which means their risk is about 1 in 2,800. So if they're meeting someone with equally low risk, the chances of those two giving it to each other are really absolutely tiny. So I think this is important to put in context, because I know many of you are still worried, still shielding, etc. And I think you can be a little bit more relaxed than has been suggested. So all in all, it's been a great week. Rates have halved. I think it's all going very well. Really low rates across the country. Vaccination's going well. And I think we can look forward to a relaxing summer. Thanks for logging, and stay safe.